and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope all of you are having an awesome midweek so far. Students, this is an IELTS speaking class, and the topic of part 2 and part 3 will be dangerous objects. Ooh. Welcome Tech 2500V. Hi Fuang. Hi Anna Lewis. Good to see our members. Welcome Ariadna Ugulhan. Good to see many students in the class ready to learn. Everybody, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com. For academic IELTS, visit us there. And for the general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. These are our websites. They power these live classes, and we use materials from our websites daily. Students, our academic IELTS website looks like this with the blue background. To join the premium version, all you have to do is click that big red button right there to my right. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. It costs about $30–40 US, and we are an IDP affiliate, a British Council partner, and an IELTS test registration center. For the general IELTS, it's gieltshelp.com. It's the green background, same idea. The speaking test, whether you're doing academic or general IELTS, is the same. It's a 12 to 15 minute interview. Now, those of you who are premium users of our website, you get 2 extra Zoom classes each week. The first one is on Thursday, the second is on Friday, so that's tomorrow and the day after. I sent you those links a couple of days ago for this week's Zoom classes. If you don't have it, let me know. Okay, you can use the code DISH9 for an extra 10% discount on the websites. The apps are Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. You can also sign up through the apps and link them to the websites. If you have questions, just let me know. Adrian at aehelp.com and admin@aehelp.com. All right, Rajinder, there are lots of ways to improve your reading scores. We did a reading class yesterday. You can review that on YouTube. Hassan, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for saying that. Carolina is in the chat. Carolina is in blue, everybody. She's a chat moderator. She's here to help guide us. All right, so again, today it's speaking. Tomorrow, we'll have task 2 writing for our premium users through Zoom. And then we'll have speaking on Friday for premium members through Zoom. You will get a chance to speak today. We will use Zoom, so you have a feel for how the premium classes work through Zoom as well. This is our speaking script for the day. Let's just jump right in. So go to your IELTS exam early, show up an hour before, find other candidates, practice with them. They'll be happy you asked them. Say, hey, are you here for your IELTS exam? Yes, I am. Could we practice a few questions just to warm up? That's a great idea. Thanks for asking. All right, I have some questions with me. Would you like to start or shall I? Oh, go ahead, you can start. Great. Then let's practice the start of the interview. Sure, that sounds good. Okay, and the start of the interview is like this. May I see your identification? Face-to-face interview, they will ask to see your ID, your passport. Students, give full sentence professional answers from the beginning if you want a good score. Yes, gladly. Here's my ID that I have used to register. Please take a look at my credentials. Okay, nice, full, clear, crisp sentence. All right. Sherry, a score of 6 today is okay. It's not good. Sherry's asking, a score of 6 good? No, it's okay. Universities, immigration, they like to see higher scores than 6. I think a good score starts at 7 these days. It really does. And it actually says that in your IELTS descriptors, Sherry. It says 6 is fluent, 7 is good English. So you should aim for a 7. I mean, if you get a 6, hey, hats off. You've got some solid skills. But these days the world is very competitive. The world speaks English. You need at least a 7. Okay. All right. Surya says this. Surya says, oh, look at that giant happy face. Surya says, this is my ID. Please have a look. It's very simple. Okay. In most professional situations, Surya, we'd say something like yes, certainly, or of course, or yes, gladly. Here's my ID card. This is my ID card. Please have a look. It's about as simple as I would make it. That's for sure. Okay. All right. But it's not bad, Surya. It's not bad. Okay. Harpreet. Also with a smiley face. Harpreet says, certainly, use your capitalization, students. Accurate English matters. Certainly, here is my password that I have used to register for this part of the interview. Please have a look. They don't want to know your password, Harpreet. I think what you meant to write there is passport. Be careful. Okay, students, when you're practicing for the IELTS exam, you should turn the auto corrections off on your computer so that you can see your mistakes in writing, and so that you can fix it. You don't have autocorrect, okay, or auto finish. It's kind of the negative of today's software is people are not learning correct language use. So when you're preparing for your IELTS exam, turn off your auto corrections and autofill. Okay, that's a good tip, just a general tip for everybody. When you are prepping for IELTS, turn off the auto correction and auto fill on your computer. Okay, so this way you can notice your mistakes and learn the correct form. Okay. All right, now students, this is speaking, so speak and repeat. Okay, copy what I say, copy how I say it. Again, for those of you just joining in, I speak with a West Coast North American accent, so that's Canada and US. If you go to Washington State, Seattle, or if you go to Oregon, Portland, or if you go to California, Los Angeles, you will hear people speaking a similar kind of English to me, for sure. You probably notice that a lot of movies people speak similar English. That's because a lot of movies are made in Vancouver and Los Angeles. All right. Good. So again, here we go. Just repeat after me. May I see your identification? Yes, gladly. Here's my ID that I have used to register. Please take a look at my credentials. What is your full name? Okay. My given name is Ahmed, and my surname is Al-Zahrani. Please call me by my given name, Ahmed. Okay, so keep it clear, keep it professional. What is your full name? My given name is Ahmed, and my surname is Al-Zahrani. Please call me by my given name, Ahmed. Sure, Ahmed. For part 1, I will ask you a couple of questions to get to know you better, and some questions on a general topic. What do you do in your free time? Again, repeat after me, students, and answer these questions. What do you do in your free time? During my spare time, I like to either read books or go on hikes with my friends. Just last Saturday, I went on a big 5-hour hike up Mount Douglas with my good friend Mike. All right, good. Answer, explanation, example. That's what you should be thinking throughout the IELTS speaking. And for those of you, again, who have access to our websites, to gieltshelp.com and ahelp.com, and in your My Student account, if you've watched our lesson videos and you've seen our 120 plus speaking sample interviews, you've learned that in the speaking section, you have to use answers, explanations, and examples. And again, to get all those 125 videos, practice exams, and much more, just join the premium course. Save yourself time and money in the long run. Again, it's only $40-50 US, and you get lifetime access. Students, answers, explanations, examples, that strategy gets you high band scores. No question. That's what they want to hear. Okay? So, Jay has an interesting answer for us. Jay says, I kill my time by playing outdoor games like cricket and football. Just last Saturday, I enjoyed playing box cricket with my friends and cousins. Days of the week, Jay, are capital letters. Okay. I kill my time is interesting. Yes, it's okay. It's a little bit strange. Killing time, we only really use that when we have unexpected time where we would otherwise be bored. So it is an expression that we use, Jay, but it's a little bit strange in this context. When I'm sitting at the dentist office, I kill time by reading the magazines. This would be a better example of this expression, I kill time. Okay. Killing time for free time, a little bit strange. Okay. At least in this part of the world. All right. So just careful with that. All right. But it's a good try. That's how we learn. Okay. All right. Rita says, whenever I have a break from my schedule, I watch movies on Netflix, sitting on my couch, relaxing. It really helps me to rejuvenate. Yesterday, I watched this show called Resurrect My Ride. All right. Rita, a couple of small corrections there. You had a couple of slight oddities. So one more time, Rita. Whenever I have a break from my schedule, I watch movies on Netflix, sitting on my couch, relaxing. It really helps me rejuvenate. Yesterday, I watched this show called Resurrect My Ride. Don't forget that example. Mal, you can totally inquire something that's off topic. Emails are the best way to do that for sure. Let me know. Tech 2500 asked, how do I learn to type quickly? To learn to type quickly, use typing software like rapidtyping.com or Typeland. That's an app. It's newer. It's fun. Okay, that's what my kids use. I used rapid typing to learn my typing skills. It's a great way to improve your English and to learn to touch type quickly. So Absolutely. 100%. I recommend it. It's a great way to hit many birds with one stone. Learn grammar, learn vocabulary, learn to type quickly in English. Okay? Evo cars, yeah, you can use the word spare time. All right, now the examiner will say, let's talk about languages. Let's do that. Let's talk about languages. Okay. Why do people learn languages? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Remember, everybody, use the question. That's a good tip. So people acquire other languages so that they can communicate with more people, absorb more information, and have a better quality of life. I read an article which explained that people who speak English fluently as a second language earn on average 300% more than those who don't. Okay. Full sentence answer, a little bit of quantification, a little bit of imagination. I did not read this article. I'm just making that up. Right? But who knows? Maybe it's true. All right. So listen and repeat. People acquire other languages so that they can communicate with more people, absorb more information, and have a better quality of life. I read an article which explained that people who speak English fluently as a second language earn on average 300% more than those who don't. Anurag, good luck on your speaking test tomorrow. All right, Anna, let's see what you said. Anna says, in my opinion, people prefer to study languages because it helps them make new friends, because it is facilitating to speak English with foreigners and understand each other well. Okay, not bad. All right. Let's see what else. Ugulhan. Ugulhan has this answer for us. I think people like to study languages that they want to communicate languages because they want to communicate with other people around the world. So most people today learn English. As it is considered both the language of tourism and business. Sure. Okay, let's finish that up. Again, one more time, Ugulhan. I think people like to study languages because they want to communicate with other people around the world. So most people today learn English as it is considered both the language of tourism and business. Okay. Next question. How often do you use English? Oh, I speak English on a daily basis. It is required both in my professional and personal life. I speak English when I play online with my friends, like Call of Duty, a first-person shooter game, and I also speak in English at my workplace as I need to communicate with foreign clients around the world. Okay, so How often do you use English? Oh, I speak English on a daily basis. Immediately I quantify it, right? Basically, I say every day. Okay? And then I explain it. It is required both in my professional and personal life. I speak English when I play online with my friends, like Call of Duty, first-person shooter game, and I also speak in English at my workplace as I need to communicate with foreign clients around the world. Okay. Let's see. Pluto says, as an international student, I speak English approximately every day. It's weird to say approximately every day because we don't approximate every day. And every day here is not an adjective. So it's a noun. So it's every day, 2 words. Okay. Be careful, Pluto, with your writing. Okay. So as an international student, I speak English every day. I just had a seminar about cancer that I presented in English. And then you didn't have a seminar, you participated or hosted. Okay, so one more time, Pluto. As an international student, I speak English every day. I just hosted a seminar about cancer that I presented in English. Okay, watch that writing. All right. Let's jump a little bit. I want to get into part 2 and part 3 today as well. So let's go to this question. It's a good one. If you could learn another language, what would it be and why? So right here, this one. If you could learn another language, what would it be and why? Given the time and opportunity to acquire or to become fluent in another language, I would love to learn Mandarin. There are over 1 billion people, mostly Chinese, who speak Mandarin, and it would be amazing to communicate with such a large group globally, not to mention the incredible history that I could discover. Okay? All right. So if you could learn another language, that's a conditional. Make sure again, students, that you're using the grammar of questions. That's why I responded with the condition, given the time and opportunity to become fluent in another language. I would love to learn Mandarin. There are over 1 billion people, mostly Chinese, who speak Mandarin, and it would be amazing to communicate with such a large group globally, not to mention the incredible history that I could discover. Okay, condition as well. All right. Okay, Rita says, if I would be able to learn a new language, I would definitely love to learn French. It is the second most spoken language, and it is also globally acceptable. Second most spoken language where? Certainly not globally. Spanish is considered one of the most widely spoken languages, and Mandarin is arguably one of the most spoken languages. So French I'm not sure about, but a lot of people do speak French. I know, I live in Canada. My daughter speaks it. I kinda, un petit peu. So it is the second most spoken language in many parts of the world. and it is also accepted as a global language. It is the official language of the Olympics, right? Okay, so one more time. If I would be able to learn a new language, I would definitely love to learn French. It is the second most spoken language in many parts of the world, and it is also accepted as a global language. All right, students, then the examiner says that is the end of part 1. We will now continue with part 2. For this part, I will show you some questions. You will have 1 minute to read these, think about your answers, and then you will have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. I will tell you when to start and when to stop. You can take notes in this 1 minute preparation time if you wish. Is that clear? And then you say, yes, it is. And then the examiner says, talk about a dangerous object that you have used. And your mind starts racing. What is that object? What is that object? Okay, so before you get ahead of yourself, make sure to read the questions. Okay. Talk about a dangerous object that you have used. What it is and what it looks like. When did you use it? Why did you use it? Why is it dangerous and how can you use it safely? You will have 1 to 2 minutes to talk about this topic. You will have 1 minute to prepare what you are going to say. All right. So, what do? First step, you identify that you're speaking about an object. When you speak about an object, you want to describe it. What does it look like? You want to explain its origin. Where does it come from? Who did you get it from? Where did you buy it? You want to explain, how do you use it? Okay. What do you do with it? Okay. Now, why? Why do you have it? The application. Okay. And then your experience. Now, you realize this. You're like, okay, I got to talk about this. So, if you're like, okay, a dangerous object that I have used is a blowtorch. All right. And I'm going to stick with the French here and tie it together with the languages. So let's say you use the blowtorch because you wanted to make crème brûlée. Okay. Now, you want to think of at least a few objects. Like, let's say you use the chainsaw to cut firewood for the winter. I just actually did that last Saturday. Or you used a very sharp sashimi knife to make sushi. Okay. Or you used a very strong chemical to clean your floors, for example. Okay. Or Anna's saying that you used an iron to iron clothing. Okay. A smartphone is not a dangerous object. That would sound very strange for me if I'm your examiner. Fatime says, I use pepper spray to fend off a vicious stray dog. Sure. Yes, could be. Okay, so you want to think of at least 2 or 3. I'm going to go with the blowtorch to make creme brulee. Everybody knows what a blowtorch is? A blowtorch is basically that little, well, it could be little or big. It's a handheld item that has a metal nozzle like this, usually a propane tank that's attached to it. So This is the propane tank, and notice I'm already describing the appearance. So this is a propane tank or a propane cylinder. This is the nozzle here. It usually has a little dial so you can adjust the setting on it. And then some of them have a built-in spark mechanism. Some of them you have to use a lighter or a match to start it. And then once you do that, you light it up and it creates this fire. It's actually not orange. Usually it's blue and see-through, but it's not going to help if I have a see-through flame for you here. So it's got a fire, and then you use it to create a lot of heat. Very strong fire, a lot of heat for certain types of jobs. It could be either to fix a pipe. So any of you who have done some plumbing or pipe fitting, you maybe have used a blowtorch to heat material up because it can expand the material. And also for those of you who are fancy pants foodies like me, you might have used a blowtorch to make certain types of dishes. One of those dishes is crème brûlée. Crème brûlée is a very famous French dessert, and you need a blowtorch for that to caramelize the sugar on top of the pudding. Okay, so that's what you need the blowtorch for. Now, of course, a blowtorch can be extremely dangerous because you can easily light on fire anything that it comes into contact with, like the house, or it can severely burn the individual using it or another person, right? So basically, I'm already going through all of these steps, right? So yes, I can take notes and write down the appearance, the origin, but it's already all in my head here. So notes are kind of important, but they're not super important. It's more important to recognize that you need to include all this information. You need to think about a couple different ideas, and then you want to prepare your first sentence. Okay, so very important tip here. Okay, prepare your first sentence using the topic. Now, hopefully everybody's doing this. So everyone, we're working on this part 2 together. You're going to be speaking in a couple of minutes here through Zoom with me. If you don't have Zoom, make sure you download Zoom, everybody. Carolina, can you maybe put a download link to Zoom in the meantime so people who don't have Zoom, they can do that. They can download that. Okay. In the meantime, I'll show you what I mean. So prepare your first sentence using the topic and your answer. Students, please don't start with some really generic general answer like, there are many dangerous objects that I have used, including guns, knives, hand grenades, but the one I'd like to talk about today is the pencil. The pencil can be deadly. It is sharp. So don't do that. All right, just start right away. So with your answer. So a dangerous object I recently used is a blowtorch. I had used my blowtorch to make creme brulee for my family and friends who had come for a visit last Sunday. I'm a bit of a foodie, so I decided to make this delicious French pudding dessert, which has caramelized sugar on the top. To caramelize the sugar, I needed my blowtorch. This is a small cylinder filled with propane with a metal nozzle screwed on the end. And a dial to adjust the intensity of the flame. This is dangerous because it creates an extremely hot open flame, which will light any object it comes into contact with on fire immediately. If it comes into contact with flesh, it will be a third-degree burn, no doubt. The object, or a blowtorch, should be used with caution, and a person should have clear instructions from a trained expert. Okay, so I keep going like that for 1 to 2 minutes. I'm describing the appearance, the origin, the use, the application, and my experience. So I go through those steps. I keep referencing these points, and I keep referencing the questions. Okay, so hopefully while I was doing that, you were also writing down your answer and your ideas. Okay. We can go through this a little bit, and then we'll do some speaking. Okay, so just read or repeat. A dangerous object I had used is a blowtorch. I had used my blowtorch to make creme brulee for my family and friends who had come for a visit last Sunday. I'm a bit of a foodie, so I decided to make this delicious French pudding dessert, which has caramelized sugar on the top. To caramelize the sugar, I needed my blowtorch. This is a small cylinder filled with propane with a metal nozzle screwed on the end and a dial to adjust the intensity of the flame. This is dangerous because it creates an extremely hot open flame which will light any object on fire that it comes into contact with. If it contacts flesh, it will be a third-degree burn, no doubt. A blowtorch should be used with caution, as a person should have clear instructions from a trained expert. Okay. And then you keep going. Students, I want to give you the chance to speak. So let's do this together. In order to speak, use this link. And I'm going to open up Zoom and let you have a chance to speak. Okay? Just click the link. Install the software. Zoom is the most popular piece of software for these kinds of interactions around the world. It is absolutely good to use. And become familiar with the controls. Premium students, you have 2 Zoom classes each week. You should have the links for tomorrow and for Friday. I see Jay is already in here. Let me put on my headset so I can hear you better. Under the more 3 dots, you have reactions, and you can do like a raise hand so that I can see you're volunteering. Okay, so you raise your hand through the reactions, everybody. All right. Let me just start letting people in here. There are already 7 people in. Jay, Lewis, Alexander, Hassan, Minnie, Anna. In Jay Lewis. Okay, put up your hand if you'd like to volunteer. Anna, unmute yourself. I remember I told you that you didn't have a chance yesterday, so you'll have a chance today. Anna, are you there?
Yes. Yes. Hello.
How are you, Anna?
Hello. Hello. Do you hear me? Yeah.
How are you, Anna?
I'm doing quite good. I had a job interview today in the morning.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that went well.
Yeah, I found very interesting vacancy in which lawyer only produce legal speaking consultation to the clients without preparing these bills of documents. So it's really interesting preposition. And on Friday I will receive my results about this
Well,
my job interview.
fingers crossed, Anna. That sounds good. All right. Anna, let's do this part two. Did you prepare an answer?
Yes.
Okay, then let me start you off. Here we go. Talk about a dangerous object that you have used. Your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
Today, I'd like to talk about my innovative metal oven, which I bought recently. Because when I cook fish, the temperature inside the oven heat around 200 degrees, and it happens to me once when I opened the door of the oven very quickly. My arm was damaged, so I really understood how the temperature is so high there. And after that, I understood this. I should follow the instructions. Because I wouldn't have these scales on my pale skin, and unfortunately I didn't cook a fish very successfully, because it was my first time, and my dish was absolutely damaged. Not only my arm, but also a fish. And after using an electronic oven, I understand how steams go through this oven quite intensively, and I should probably ask for advice before this, before I before I before I start cooking via this oven. So this oven has five programs for fish, and it's really tricky for me to adjust this program very quickly. So that's the reason why I was so unsuccessful cooker, and my experience was terrible, and I fell down about this, because I had another feelings in my head, but the result was really disappointed
Okay,
from
your
what
two
I
minutes is
saw.
up. I will stop you there. And we will now go on to part three. And everybody, the examiner will time you. So they do look at a clock, and then if it's 2 minutes, 120 seconds, they'll stop you even if you're still speaking. If you've stopped speaking, then they'll stop you as well. So I know that was really good. I think that's easily a band 6.5 to 7. You're somewhere between that fluent and good range for sure. Just really keep building that vocabulary. Keep focusing on clear, coherent sentence structures. I did some real time correction while you were speaking, so I'm going to say it sentence by sentence. And Anna, everybody, just repeat after me. Today I'd like to talk about my convection oven, which I bought recently.
Convection oven. Convection is
Convection is
what?
the one that circulates the air. Remember that reading that we did about convection with the formation of the Himalayas, where we explained and talked about
Ah,
convection?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll say it one more time. Today, I'd like to talk about my convection oven, which I bought recently because when I cook fish, the temperature in the oven reaches about 200 degrees.
And today I'd like to talk about my convection oven, which I bought recently, because I cook fish. The temp in the oven reach about 200 degrees.
One time when I opened the oven quickly, my arm got burned.
Uh, One time when I opened the oven quickly, my arm was got burned.
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 Afterwards, I realized that this is potentially a very dangerous appliance.
Afterwards, I realized this is potentially a very dangerous appliance, and I need to follow the
Whoa. I
instructions
haven't said
carefully.
that part yet. Just a sec. Just a sec.
Okay.
And I need to follow the instructions carefully to avoid similar situations in the future.
And I need to follow the instructions carefully to avoid a similar situation in the future.
Yeah. When you're doing repetition work, Anna, really at your level, really try to focus on not reading the correction, but just listening and repeating from what you hear. That's actually very important for you to make sure that as you improve, your sentences become more coherent. So
Okay.
when you're watching a movie, for instance, Anna, or you're listening to music or you're listening to audio reading, then really just listen and repeat without looking at the text, without looking at the subtitles, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go, a little bit more. In order to use such a high temperature oven safely, it is a very good idea to read through the instruction manual before.
In order to use high temperature oven safety, it's a great idea to read an instruction manual before using this oven.
Very nice. Much better. See, that there I could tell that you were not reading, and that was very good, and I could really hear your brain working on that accurate structure and repetition. That's exactly what you need to do, Anna,
Yeah,
okay?
I wanted to describe at the beginning the iron, but I don't have such a vocabulary how this steam goes through this iron. It's a new iron, which you put this iron, and this iron will make this clothes neat and tidy in a few seconds using this steam.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to describe this. Yeah.
Then don't talk about it in the IELTS. It's a good choice. All right, Anna, thank you for volunteering. Good luck
Yeah,
on that
thank you for
interview.
giving me a chance. And what I should improve? Vocabulary for this answer or grammar too?
Yes, focus more on the smooth, coherent, clear sentence structure. Okay, so it's a little bit
Yeah.
more about grammar and just smooth, nice, fluent intonation. Okay.
Yeah, I also think that I need to use smooth vocabulary because I had explanation with natives 1 week ago. I couldn't explain my situation of how my Telegram was hacked, and this was very difficult for me to explain this in a one sentence. Yeah, I should.
Anna,
I should.
we'll
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
practicing. We'll keep practicing. Have a lovely rest of your day. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
All right, give Anna a thumbs up, everybody. Alexander, I remember that I mentioned I would give you a chance to speak here. Alexander, are you there?
Hello, Adrian. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Alexander?
Well, still enjoying some last summer days here.
Nice. Yeah, we had a little bit of return of summer here as well. It looked like it went away, but then it came back again. So
Called Indian summer, right? In your part of the world, is it correct?
yes, when it's a long summer. We wouldn't call it an Indian summer yet, though. It would have to stretch almost into October for people to start calling it an Indian summer. So it's still like usually this time of the year should still be fairly good into mid-September. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's called an Indian summer when it's a long summer. Yeah. All right, Alexander, are you ready for this question?
Yes, sure.
All right, let's do this part 2. Talk about a dangerous object that you have used. Your 1-minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
A dangerous object which I recently used was my gasoline canister or jerry can with gasoline, filtered gasoline. And I utilize it for firing garbage in a barrel in my garden. So the most risky part of this procedure is the moment of firing, because it should be very carefully, the garbage should be very carefully wetted by gasoline. Just last month, during the summer heat, I leaked or overused a bit with fuel. So the barrel caught fire with some loud explosion, so loud that my neighbors definitely claimed me or asked what happened to your garden. So I had some awkward moment explaining that everything fine. But it's really some kind of sense of danger at the moment of firing up. So definitely it requires to be very careful and not to be too much aggressive, but maybe to be more cautious at the moment when you're waiting your garbage, and especially closing this canister and returning back and hiding in my garage. All these points should be planned beforehand. So that's all which I like to answer to.
2 minutes is up. I'll stop you there. And we'll go on to part 3. All right, I'm just going to finish this. I know the situation. Let's just say that, Alexander. I know the situation that you're talking about. My wife could tell you a funny story on a camping trip one time. Okay, so I made a few corrections while you were speaking. That was really good. You had some really good vocabulary in there. Jerry can. By the way, everybody, a jerry can, and I think I've misspelt it. I don't know. The spelling of that word is kind of tricky. But a jerry can is basically that red, thick plastic box or can that's specially made to hold gasoline. And it's a good word to know because if you're traveling and you need extra gas or extra fuel, you usually take that with you in a jerry can and you fill it at the gas station. So I like how you got right into the speaking, Alexander. So you said a dangerous object which I recently used is my gasoline canister or jerry can. I use it to burn garbage in my backyard. Very good, very nice direct start. Here I made some corrections. Just repeat after me. The riskiest part of this object is the moment of ignition.
Riskiest part of this procedure is igniting.
Is the moment of ignition.
Is the moment of ignition.
Yeah, we can use ignite as a noun, ignition.
Ignition.
Yeah, the riskiest part of this procedure is the moment of ignition.
Riskiest part of this procedure is the moment of ignition.
The garbage should be carefully soaked with gasoline.
The garbage should be carefully soaked with the gasoline.
Using less is always best practice.
Using less is always the best practice.
Just last summer, I used too much gas and the barrel caught on fire and then exploded.
Just last summer, I used too much gas and it got on fire and exploded.
The loud noise alerted my neighbors and I had to explain the situation.
The loud noise annoyed my neighbors and I had to explain the situation.
The loud noise alerted my neighbors and I had to explain the situation.
A loud noise alerted my neighbors and I had to explain the situation.
It is important.
Annoyed as well, applicable right here.
Yeah. So it is important to know that gas vaporizes as soon as it comes into contact with air.
It's important to know that gas is vaporizing as soon as it gets in contact with air.
And this can be dangerous because it leads to explosions.
And this can be dangerous because it can lead to explosions.
Yeah, and that's just, I think it's important for us, Alexander, to tell all of our viewers, because we have a lot of young viewers out there as well, and we might be saving somebody's facial hair, if nothing else, that when you pour gasoline, the gasoline is not just on the object that you're pouring it on. So it's not just on the garbage here that Alexander's pouring it on in the can. The gasoline is also in the air. There are vapor particles of gasoline in the air. So when you light that fire, you're not just lighting the object on fire, like the garbage, but you're lighting the air on fire that's around it. And that's what a lot of people forget. So you have to be very, very careful with gas, right, Alexander?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So everybody watching out there, this is a little bit, it's a lot of us tend to have this experience that Alexander has, and some of us aren't as lucky as Alexander or myself. I've had that situation too, Alexander, where it was a lot of vapor in the air, and let me tell you, I lost a few arm hairs and facial hairs, but that was thankfully as bad as it got. I didn't burn myself. So careful, everybody out there, with gasoline. It's definitely a dangerous object. Alexander, thank you so much for volunteering, and yeah, don't blow up any more garbage cans in the backyard. Did that really happen, just out of curiosity, or?
Yes, I never made up something. It's easy to say something real from real life.
Yeah, it is, right? And by the way, students, if your examiner can't help but laugh, I had to chuckle there a little bit. I was visualizing you blowing up a garbage can in your backyard, Alexander. If you're don't try to make your examiner laugh, but if they do laugh, just keep going, right? So in the IELTS, you have to really remember that you're paying a lot of money to be there. You want the best score possible, so just keep going. Don't pay attention to them. But Alexander, that was great. Other than the fact that you blew up a gas can, or sorry, not a gas can, but a garbage can. So keep it up. That was really, yeah, fantastic. I liked how you were nice and to the point with your response. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, John, for having me today. Thank you.
All right, that was Alexander. Everybody give Alexander a thumbs up. It was fantastic. Let's see what's going on here. All right, I'm not going to rush into part 3, everybody. I'm going to kind of just wrap it up there. Part 3, these are the questions, and they follow from part 2. For those students who would like to have more of a chance to interact through Zoom, I highly recommend being a premium student. Tomorrow we're going to do task 2 writing, and even task 2 writing we have a lot of speaking. It's very interactive. So tomorrow we'll do task 2 writing for premium students through Zoom. Okay, and if you're a premium student, I already sent you the links. If you didn't get those links, you need to send me an email. I can check your premium account and then send you the Zoom link. To become a premium student, everybody, go to aehelp.com and gieltshelp.com. These are the websites that power these live classes. aehelp.com looks like this. And all you need to do is click the big red button to sign up. It's a one-time payment. You get lifetime access. It costs about 30 to 50 bucks US, depending on where you are in the world. We're an IDP affiliate, British Council partner, IELTS Test Registration Center. We help thousands of students every day to pass their IELTS exams. So click the button, use the code DISH9 for a 10% discount coming from this class. And then get those Zoom links and join me tomorrow for task 2, and join me on Friday for a full speaking class via Zoom. Have an awesome rest of your day, Fuang. I'll keep an eye out for you in the upcoming classes. Carolina, thank you so much for moderating. Alexander, Anna, thank you for volunteering. As I mentioned, I'm always trying to rotate students. It's a really good job. Be very careful with gasoline fires, everybody. They're extremely dangerous. And have a lovely rest of your day. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. Enjoy your summer days if you have some of those left. If you're in the southern hemisphere, then enjoy the brisk weather. Bye for now.